Hi everyone, welcome to Michelin King. So today I've picked out just 3 orders because I know sometimes the videos go on a wee bit. So I've just picked out 3 today. As you can see, I've started in some others as well. So first up, we've got David all the way from Scotland. Quite nice to see a local order, so thanks very much, David. So David, I've picked out some of your stuff already. So first up, we've got the solvent-based glass cleaner. This is an exceptionally good glass cleaner to cut through organic matter. So that would be things like flies or bug splatter, for instance. You would get things like tree sap, even tar, that type of thing. So solvent-based glass cleaner for me is an absolute must. The other thing that's very good about this is it's got a fast working time. The longer term alcohol based stuff just wasn't for us. It just takes too long to break. It does the same job as the solvent based stuff, it just takes too long. The other probable benefit of the solvent is it's much less likely to streak as well because it's faster working. Just make sure that you've got a good quality microfiber and you'll be good to go. Endurance, this is fast becoming the most popular spray wax that we offer. So it's the highest gloss spray wax that we offer. Just make sure you give it a good shake before you use it. It will separate just as an emulsion, and it's an oil-based one. Sorry, guys. So just make sure you give it a good shake before you use it. Next up, he's got a free Christmas wax. So if you spend over £99, you get one of our limited edition Christmas waxes. And this one, he's chosen the orange colour with the cinnamon fragrance. So we've got about 3 or 4 of each style left on the shelves. Once they sell out, obviously that's it because they are a limited edition. Next up, we've got our SiO2 spray sealant. This is essentially, we made this primarily as a wax boost, but people are now using this because SiO2 has become quite popular over the years. This can now be used as a standalone, or it always could be used as a standalone. The benefit of this is you'll get about 6 months protection, and it's as easy to use as a quick detailer. Lots of good reviews, so if you're any doubts at all, check the website. My favourite shampoo, Chera, is a luxury shampoo. It's infused with carnauba. It's just everything you want a shampoo to be. It's slick, it offers you some protection, it cleans well, its dilution ratio is great, so all in is very, very good. You need about 20 ml or so, 10 to 20 ml in a bucket. If you're in a harder water area, then you'll need about 20 or maybe a wee bit more. If you're in a softer area, you can get away with less. It just depends on your water. Next up, this is our interior plastic dressing and cleaner. Most important thing about this is not to use all-purpose cleaner on your interior plastics. It can stain them, and it certainly will lead to the plastic degrading over time. You can even feel the softening agents in treat because it actually softens the plastic bottle. So that's one of the key points of this product, is you want it to essentially soften the plastic so that the plastic doesn't become rigid. Because as we all know, when the plastic becomes rigid, it's more likely to chip, crack, and fade. So this is exactly the product that you want. Very, very good indeed. Next up, we've got a bottle of our oil-based exterior plastic dressing. Bit of a mouthful. It's fantastic. If you've got lots of plastic, external plastic that's unpainted on your car, your truck, your van, whatever it might be, this is a must-have. And it's only about £10 as well, which is extremely well priced for this type of product. Again, this is about half the price of some of the big box companies that are out there. So this is only about £10 for the SiO2 stuff. Many of you will know the big boxes are selling these for £15 to £18. Now, there's no need because SiO2 is a very cheap component. As many of you know, the pricing structure doesn't always reflect the ingredients, whereas we like to just stay quite straightforward. Our pricing and structure does, especially with the waxes, does reflect the ingredients. So in terms of, sorry, the phone's going absolutely mad as usual the minute you start a video. So next up we've got Spa Plus. We've got Spa version 2. So this is a pH neutral car shampoo, very straightforward, slightly thicker than Chera, so slightly higher dilution rate, but I do prefer Chera just because it just feels a bit nicer under the mitt. But this is good if you don't want to add any protection, you just want a very simple shampoo. That's the stuff to go for. Next up, we've got our Rinse Aid. So this is very simply a spray on, rinse off sealant that will give you a couple of weeks protection. It's not SiO2 based, simply because they have an issue with sometimes free rinsing, and they can leave a coating behind. The best way the way that I tend to use this is I'll dilute it slightly. So I'll get another bottle, dilute it slightly, and actually spray it onto wet paint and then dry the car. Normally that will give you the most amount of protection, simply because when you put it through a foam lance, if you put any of your sealant products through a foam lance, you're diluting them typically a lot more than you would if you just put it through a normal spray bottle. So there's a wee tip. It'll last longer for you as well. 350ml sample, 350ml wax, and you've ordered 2 litres of quick detailer. Great stuff, always worth having. One of the best selling products that we offer. Probably, I think it's about 170 odd reviews on this, so it's got the most reviews of any detailing product on the market right now. So very popular indeed, which we're thankful for, because this is it's just down to luck, guys, and probably my background experience before I started the company. I was very particular about my cleaning, so I knew what I wanted, and we just teamed up with the right company for that one. So the liquids, majority of liquids are made out of house, but under our guidance. All of the waxes are made in-house, so we have total control over the waxes. There isn't, in my opinion, there isn't a bad product in the range. Like every company, you'll have your products that you prefer. So you'll have, if you go into your garage, you'll probably have a real mix of stuff, and it can be seasonal as well. But I would say you'll never be disappointed by any of the products that you buy here. And last but not least, this is a big one. So David has went for a brand new show car winter wax. It comes in at the priceless sum of £20 for 200 litres. It's an absolute bargain because it's a brilliant wax. It's even got natural oils in there. It's not a million miles away from something like Azure, which is nearly 3 times the price. We brought this out just simply because just exactly what it sounds like. It was just a wee side project. It turned out really happy with the wax, and I thought, we had some black containers, some black pots on the factory floor, and I thought, we'll just make a run of, what did we make, 8, I think. I can't remember. I think it's 8. I made a few waxes at the same time, so I was making honey as well. So it is a limited edition, and we are running out quite quickly, as because of the price. People are really just snapping this up. So next up, shout out to the Car Boutique. So thank you very much. So if you're looking for a nice, friendly bunch of guys, you're looking for a Facebook group, or you're looking for a new YouTube channel to follow, make sure you give the Car Boutique a look. The guys are very knowledgeable, very nice, and they use decent stuff. As you can see, they use Michelin King. But in all honesty, you've got Stephen. He's well in with his flex stuff. See a lot of demos on that, a lot of exterior, interior stuff. So, and the other thing, you can pick up lots of good tips as well, because they do warehouse, factory, site visits, whatever you want to call it. And obviously when you get into that realm, then you're starting to get behind the scenes. So that's one of the reasons that we do this type of video, which is quite unusual, instead of demoing the products outside, which we will get back to quite soon. Just the weather is turning, thankfully. But it gives us a chance to chat about the products and just give you some behind the scenes access in terms of any tips that we can offer, and maybe applicators, for instance. I've now really moved over to foam applicators versus microfibers. I just find them a wee bit easier to work with, and we didn't have access to this foam pad that we've got now, this foam pad that we offer now, is so good compared to these sort of yellow ones that used to be 10 or so years ago, that they were just too thin, they soaked up too much oil, which sort of kind of goes against the natural car wax stuff. But these new pads that we offer are absolutely fantastic, and they will be back in stock soon, guys. It just seems like every time we bring in boxes of the applicators, they just seem to go within the first couple of days. So hopefully this time we've got enough to keep us going for at least a week. So Andrew, what did you buy? So you spent £60. So for the £60, and it's great value, you've got a free sample liquid. At this moment it is Chera, so great shampoo. You've got a free 50ml wax as well. You've got your official Scottish wax, and then you've went for Project 21. So the official Scottish wax, of course, is very good because it has to honour our country. So it's a very wet look wax. It's everything you want in a wax. Fantastic wax, great price as well. And then Project 21, as I said, was just a wee thing that I was doing on the side, and I decided, this is really good, and I could offer it at quite a keen price. So at £20, slightly different container than normal. So it's a black plastic pot that it comes in. Looks very similar to the rest of the black pots that we offer, in fairness, but it's allowed me to put it out at £20. So they are getting snapped up quite quickly. I'd imagine these will not last till payday. So anyway, if you can go and wash a neighbour's car for £20, that's what to do. Next up, we've got Cameron. So thanks very much, Andrew, for that order. Next up, we've got Cameron. So he has snapped up his bespoke car wax for £147, which is an absolute steal, considering this blend will never be made again unless Cameron wants a refill. This will never be made again. So we'll give you a wee shout out, Cameron, because if you're in the Mansfield area, that's NG19 and surrounding areas, Cameron owns a company called EKJ Auto Valley or Auto Valet. So if you're after, and this obviously he's got a good eye, because the characteristics of the wax: wet, longevity and depth. So this is a wax that could carry you throughout the year. The wetness in the summer and spring, you've got the longevity for the autumn and winter, and then you've got the depth for your darker colours as well. So great choice. Obviously a modern man, because he's went for a fluorescent pink colour, but he's clawed it back with the vanilla fragrance. So there you go, well done. The other nice thing about this order is you've got 3 free gifts. So you've got your orange coloured Christmas wax, which is cinnamon. Again, the cinnamon's been quite popular. 50ml sample wax and 50ml sample wax and 50ml sample liquid as well. So we'll get so how this works for the bespoke stuff, guys: we get the order in, we order your plaque. Once the plaque comes in, we then make the wax so that the wax is as fresh as possible. And normally the wax, if I make it in the morning, it's ready to go out that evening. Something like this. It's when you're making the one wax, it's a wee bit easier than obviously doing more. But those of you that have watched the videos and stuff, you'll know that we don't make a massive. We have the capability, but through choice, I don't make massive runs of wax at the one time, simply down to things like quality control. I've got a lot of other functions within the company, so stuff like this. And if you're making a lot of waxes in one go, you really need to be with the waxes all day. So it's just I guess you would call it, there's a bit of give and take, really. The other reason is we run quite a tight ship in terms of the stock of waxes that we keep on the shelf, simply so that you're getting waxes that are, for instance, most of the waxes I'm looking at right now were made late November into December, and obviously now there's some stuff that we've made in January as well. So it's very unusual for you to there'll be anomalies, but it's unusual for you to have a wax that's maybe more than, 6 or 8 weeks old. And it's like anything: if your food is fresh, it tastes better. If your wax is fresh, especially in natural waxes, they will perform better. These products, I would just urge you to keep them in a relatively stable temperature, so something like a fridge, not in its coolest setting, because you don't want it to be too hard when you're ready to use it, but something around about 10 degrees. They will go up to room temperature quite comfortably. Room temperature varies between 18 and 22 depending where you are, but the biggest thing I would say is keep them away from freezing temperatures and keep them away, and that goes for any detailing products, keep them away from very hot temperatures. So if your garage gets very cold in the winter, try and move your more sacred stuff inside, and if it gets very hot in the summer, again, try and find a cooler area that you can keep them. Even just, a cheap fridge off Gumtree or Facebook Marketplace, or if you want something nice, there's plenty of glass fronted options out there. Something like a wine cooler is fine because it just keeps it at a more stable temperature. Or if you've got a cigar room, that's also nice. Yeah. So in terms of humidity, you don't need to bother too much about that because obviously fridges are quite humid. As long as you just make sure the lid's on nice and tight, you've still got that inner seal, the cap there as well. Right, that's us for now. Thank you very much for joining us. Take a look at the website. We've got some great deals on just now. And obviously we've got the new Project 21 wax as well. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.